body of the aircraft is called the fuselage. And these are, of course, the wings. And back here, this whole piece kind of all together is called the tail of the aircraft, or the empennage. But then there's this little piece here and this little piece here. And you know when you're at the beach and you look out at where the ocean meets the sky?
Yes.
Anybody know what that's called?
Horizon.
Horizon. Perfect. So this piece of the tail that goes like this, kind of like the horizon, is called the horizontal stabilizer, because it's horizontal like the horizon. The other piece that goes kind of straight up and down is called the vertical stabilizer. And what the tail of the aircraft does is kind of like, you know how an arrow has feathers on the back? Those feathers on the back of an arrow make it fly straight when you shoot it out of a bow. The tail of the aircraft acts like feathers on the back of an arrow, and that's what makes the airplane fly straight. You have your horizontal stabilizer and your vertical stabilizer. Now, on each of these surfaces, these are the three main surfaces of the aircraft that make it fly. The wing and the tail, which is made up of the horizontal stabilizer and the vertical stabilizer. On each of these surfaces, you have another smaller piece that's like a little tab, like this. And these tabs out here on the wing are called ailerons. The tab on the vertical stabilizer is called a rudder. And the tab on the horizontal stabilizer is called an elevator. And we're going to talk in just a minute more about each one of those surfaces and what they do. Now, has anybody drove down the road before and stuck their hand out the window of the car and go like this? Okay, lots of you have. Well, essentially, go ahead.
Never mind.
Oh. Essentially what you're doing when you do that is your hand is acting like a wing. And a lot of people don't realize it because you can't see it, but air is just like a fluid. It acts a lot like water. You know, you've all been outside on a windy day and you can feel the air blowing on you. So even though we can't see it, it's there and it acts just like a fluid. And what makes a wing actually fly? Well, before I get into that, we'll talk just real briefly about the forces on an aircraft when it's flying. So I'm going to draw another little small airplane down here so you guys can see it. And essentially there's 4 forces that act on an aircraft when it's flying. 2 of the forces we want, and then 2 of the forces we kind of don't